Everybody for coming here today. It's an incredibly wet day, and I know some of you have travelled from quite far to be here. So thank you. Welcome to Uxbridge. If this is your first visit, we're very happy to see you here. This is our second exhibition of the year, and you can tell it's been on. This is an exceptionally strong turnout. So congratulations, Colin, for bringing the people to East Auckland for your exhibition. This, we're entering the dreary part of the year, and I think this is a wonderful way to celebrate all aspects of life with an exhibition that is just so vibrant and enriching and emotionally thrilling. When we were installing the exhibition this week, the number of people hanging around the windows trying to get a peek tells me that this is going to be a very popular exhibition. And when you work in art galleries, they're never better than when they're full of music and dance alongside the art. So that's what we've got for you today. This is an opening with a few surprises. After I speak, Coral is going to come and give a little speech. And following Coral's talk, you're going to see from Elaine Chen and a brand new performance choreographed for this exhibition. I've been here about 9 months, and this is a really exciting way to do an opening. So I'm thrilled to welcome Elaine to do that performance for you. And following that, we have another guest speaker, Lizzie Oakes, who is a journalist based in Auckland, who is going to wrap up the speeches today with a few final words from Coral. So congratulations, Coral. Thank you for putting on the opening. And thank you.
Thank you, Paul, for putting up the whole show. Actually, he actually personally installed during our works. So thank you, Paul, for the incredible effort. And thank you for all the board members from Howick and this area. Thank you for this beautiful facility. And thank you for all my friends, all the creative friends, my artist friends coming all the way, and my church friends, and my Taiwanese friends, my Japanese, Chinese friends, and all the Asian community. Thank you so much for coming here. And this is a very wet day, but you know why? Because I love water. Anybody knows why? Because when I paint, I just splash water onto the canvas. So I was like looking at the sky, I was saying, yeah, of course it's going to be raining today. So thank you so much. And a lot of you know that when I do an art exhibition, I really believe it's not just the art itself. I really, really want to bring people together. Because I'm an expat, I'm from Taiwan, I'm quite lonely here. So I like to gather people. I like to use art as a way to reach people and to create creative and community, friendship, and just so we can inspire each other and have fun. So thank you all for coming. And you, everyone here, are the people that bring the spark, bring the light to the space. Without you, how lonely I would be here just looking at the painting light. So thank you so much for coming. And so the title of this collection is called TOKIMEKU. TOKIMEKU, what does that mean? You probably have never heard about it before you come here, except my Japanese friend. Okay. So actually, I experienced lots of TOKIMEKU today. TOKIMEKU actually means your heart is beating fast, like fluttering, like it's going to leap out. Like what I was thinking about, is there anyone going to show up today? You know, like my heart is like beating fast. So when your heart is palpitating, fluttering, in anticipation of something new, might be exciting, maybe an adventure that makes you feel a little bit terrified, but also exciting. That's TOKIMEKU. And the person who made this word very famous is Marie Kondo. She is the Japanese lady who helped people to tidy up their houses. And then she would say, this you don't really like it. Okay, this you really like it, keep it. So I kind of learned this because I've been working in many different cities when I was working in animation. Like I always work there for 1 year and I have to move. So I have to clear up all my stuff. I cannot keep everything. So there are only a few things I get to really have them, and that means they are very special and meaningful to me. So I realized that that's the way I have to live my life if I want to keep my memory meaningful and my life not cluttered, and I can go on adventure anytime I want. So Tokimeku is that philosophy that I actually live by. But this particular collection is very, very special and meaningful to me because last year I took a trip to Akita, Japan, and that's my mother's hometown. And there I have a whole trip of Tokimeku moments before I even start booking the tickets, because I really haven't seen my family after 4 years because of COVID. I haven't seen them. So there was a lot of anticipation, excitement, and wondering, are we going to get along? Our family is much, But then when we went to Akita, we actually was on a caravan, and my cousin was driving that caravan, and we were just going to this old town, and then you were looking at all the old villa of 300 years old, lived by the sunrise, and then the ancient cherry trees planted by the river bank. And then we took this winding road going to the mountain and go to this remote site called Tamagawa. It is a hot spring site that's historically very famous because it has this very acidic hot spring, very powerful. It also has this radioactive rocks that's embedded there. So that place is very famous for healing. And in an ancient time, even the bears or the deers, when they get injured, they will come to the water and they will rest there and they got healed. So nowadays, people just go for therapeutic benefits. So we went there, and there I have so many Tokimeku moments when I saw the wonder of nature. It somehow just all happened. So this collection was created from those wonderful encounters I had. And on this side, this wall, the Great Wall, is based on this phenomena I saw at Shushan Lake. And the phenomenon is called submerged forest. So submerged forest happened when the winter snow on the mountain top and melted down into the lake and then flooded the whole lake. And then it created this illusion that the young trees are growing out from the water. It looks like they're floating on the lake. So it was just like amazing, beautiful and magical. And then on this side is the blue pieces. They are my Sun Halo series. So the Sun Halo series is based on the Sun Halo we actually saw when we were at Tamagawa. We were just having a picnic on the radiant rocks. And we lifted our head and we saw that this ring as a circling the sun at 22 degrees. So the sun halo actually is when the sunlight interacts with a thin layer of clouds, and then when all the icy crystals, they formed in a perfect hexagon, then you will create that ring. So it doesn't happen all the time. And we were just so fortunate. And then my mom just said that I think God is very happy that our family is together. Yeah. And some of you know that I lost my brother in 2018, and that's actually the reason I started painting, just to bring healing to me. And then so this trip becomes very poignant because I saw that there's an incredible healing that took place in my family. And then we were able to get together to have that sense of belonging and connection. So that's the emotion that I want to capture in this collection. And so that side, the yellow side, was created based on the volcano sulfur. And they are like neon yellow in the lab. And I was like, this is so beautiful. I just need to paint that. And on this side is the orange, pink, red side. It's not a color from the nature there, but it is the color of my heart. So even I feel like it's the shade of my heart. And then this is towards the end of the collection, I felt something very different. I felt like this TOKIMEKU is actually happening in me, like my heart actually come alive again. Like I felt something new is happening, something new adventure, something wonderful, a new door, a new chapter has flipped. So that's why, they feel a little bit different, they have different energy feelings. And that actually is what I want to bring to all of you, is the sense of a new beginning, sense of a new adventure, and rebirth. And it's when everything seems to be very chaotic or unknown, but then we know that something is bursting, something new is happening. And that's a gift that I want to give to everyone. Thank you. And now, let me introduce Elaine Chen. She's an accomplished contemporary dancer, and she's been active with performing and choreographing. Today, she's going to bring a piece, TOKIMEKU, based on the inspiration from this collection. It's an original choreograph. So, and the world premiere. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Lizzie Otis, and thank you, Elaine. That's just beautiful. If I had to go without, I'd put my back out, but absolutely beautiful. My name's Lizzie Otis. I speak for a living, and I'm a good friend of Coral's. I'm a Kiwi sister. We didn't know that we were colour coordinated today, but we're on the same wavelength, so what can I say? Something that I know about Coral that I haven't really observed in anybody else is that in her work, in her practice as an artist, she puts such a high priority on play. TOKIMEKU, you know, the things that make your heart sing. And I know that in her practice she talks about exploring and expressing and having fun and being a moment of joy. And this word play comes up a lot in her language. And I don't actually hear a lot of adults talking about the importance of play in their life. And being friends with Coral, you know, these things just sort of rub off on you. And I was reminded actually of a number of years ago now, actually, when my son was just a preschooler. He's turning 20 very soon. And for those of you who know Omaha Beach, north of Auckland, the beautiful golden sand, and we were there sitting in the sun and enjoying the good weather. And then I spotted a couple of surfies coming out of the water, and they were sort of having a bit of a laugh, and they were digging around in the sand and putting something on their surfboard, and I was like, what's that? And then I had a wave of nostalgia come over me, and I suddenly realised they were picking pippies. And that's something that I loved to do as a child. Holidays at Mount Maunganui down at the Bay of Plenty. And it was something that I hadn't done for ages. And suddenly I grabbed this plastic bag and I started to run towards the sea. And as I did, it was like the decades peeled off and I was that young girl again. And I'm in the water and the muscular memory came in, you know, those who know pick pippies, put their heel in the ground, right? And then you twist your ankle and then you hit a pippy bed and you reach down and pick it. Do the same thing until I probably had half a bag of pippies and I ran back up the beach with childlike delight, you know, wet hair splattered across my face. And I remember the feeling of absolute joy and thrill. It was play and it was just like a child. And that night we put them up on the barbie, you know, it was the best thing. Some of you may be familiar with the trauma and addiction specialist, Dr. Gabor Mate, I may have pronounced his name incorrectly, from the documentary The Wisdom of Trauma. And so he's a guy, he's about 80 now, he's really well known around the world, he's a great speaker, communicator. But something I heard him say is that for all the amazing things that he's achieved in his life, if he could go back and have his life again, he would commit to playing. He would have more play in his life, that it's actually a really important thing. And he also said that one of his favourite books was Winnie the Pooh. That's one of ours too, probably. And you know, this thing of play, that it's that we're going to a space where we connect with something that makes our heart sing, you know. And I think, like me, with the pippies, as we get older, we can forget those things that make our heart sing. And a bit like a child who's disbanded their favourite bike under a tree, sometimes we need to search around in the dirt again to reconnect with those things that bring us life. I mentioned earlier that my son, you know, he's turning 20 next month. So 20 years ago, I gave birth to a beautiful baby boy, and at the time, I ended up getting really unwell, postnatal depression, but I sort of upgraded it, and the old postnatal psychosis. It's not a fun place to be. It didn't help that the doctors put me on the wrong medication, but I remember in the muddle of it, sitting in the nurses in the doctor's room, and the doctor looked at me and said, "Lizzie, what's your interests? What's your hobbies?" And I looked at her, and I said, "What?" She goes, "What do you like to do?" I didn't have an answer for her. I didn't even know. And I realised even in that moment of lack of sleep and mental unwellness that I was so disconnected from my own heart. But the thing about that little boy, he was such a good sleeper. And I remember by the time he was 1, he had this practice, God bless him, of sleeping from 1 to 4 o'clock, you know. And I started to play. I pulled out my guitar again, I started to play. I bought some acrylic paints. I don't paint like coral, but I can still paint and play. And went down my garage and put some music on, and when I'd hear him sort of wake up, I'd go up. I finished off this creative writing correspondence course that I had started and I had forgotten. And when I look back now, 20 years later, I actually realised that commitment and that connection to the things that made my heart sing, that caused me to feel alive, were part of my healing journey. And Dr. Gabor Mate actually says that play is an antidote to trauma. And so my question today to you, and my challenge to you, is what is it that makes your heart sing? What is it that makes you come alive? There's many of us in the room, and we'll have many answers, and no answer is a wrong answer. And I think so often that part of our brain, perhaps we'd call it the critical parent part of our brain, will start to bring up all the excuses of why we can't do something. But as I've learned in my own life, and as Coral has learned in her life, is when you embrace the things that make your heart sing, it just makes the world a better place to be in. And you're happier, you're connected with joy, and then the overflow is that you can put things out into the world like TOKIMEKU that actually bring other people joy too. Thank you.
So beautifully well said. So that comes to the end of the program today. And but there are something all of you, the guests, do here today is we have created a little corner there. You know, it's the string with the paper tree leaves. Okay, so that's standing right next to the painting called the Tree of Life. So anyway, we saw the leaves from that painting, right? So I'm asking all of you to write something that make your heart sing, something that ignites your soul, what make you happy. How do you play? and let's do something with that corner and make it memorable. So I just want to thank you all for coming, and may I present my Lizzie and Elaine and Kelly, my creative team. Kelly, could you please come over? Thank you. Thank you so much. This is not the end of the TOKIMEKU because this incredible woman, smart photographer, she is going to create a video piece of Elaine dancing in dialogue with the paintings. And then when that's done, I'm going to let you know. It's going to be posted on stage. Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to purchase the painting. Bring what will make your heart sing into your living room, your bedroom, and support the artist, right? And there are a few prints there. If you want to purchase, Martha outside can help you. And also, please sign up for my newsletters. So you will receive my monthly newsletter. Also, there's another activity. I am going to give away a blue pencil sketch. If you enter the drawing, and you may win a blue pencil sketch, either of you or your loved ones or your pet. And where's Susie? Okay. Anyway, I did the painting sketch of her mother, and that's how we become good friends. Okay. So thank you so much for coming and enjoy the time. Viewing the paintings. If you have any question, you have any comment, please leave there or come to me. I would love to hear what you think about it. Thank you.